Hi guys!
Hi everybody! Welcome to tonight's support group. We are talking tonight about bariatric friendly pizza party. So who's in for a pizza party? Raise your hand. If you're here with us already, say hi. Let us know where you're from.
Hi Michelle.
Yeah. Let us know where you're from. Let us know if you're pre-op, if you're post-op, if you've had some weight loss, what kind of surgery you had, anything fun just to kind of share with the group. And we encourage you to use that chat box during the whole feature. Brittany and I, we're really excited about tonight because we've been preparing for this one for quite a long time. We put a lot of preparation into this event. Brittany and I our team, our ProCare Health team, decided to do a video shoot, and we videoed recipes. And one of those sets that we did was on pizza party. So we had our marketing team, they put us together a little video production. So we have a video to share with you today on actually us baking some pizzas. It's Brittany. It was her segment. And then we also have we just put together a bunch of ideas on putting together a pizza that's bariatric friendly, because you still want pizza, I'm sure you still may have a desire for that kind of food. And basically, if let us know too if this is you guys' first event or if you've been with us before. Yeah. Before we get started, we're going to do introductions, and I'm actually going to let Brittany go first, and then I'll introduce myself as we kind of segue into things.
Alrighty, so I'm going to just jump right into it. That way we can get to the good stuff, what you guys came for. My name is Brittany. I've been with ProCare Health for about 2 years. It'll be actually 2 years next month. When I first started off, I was in marketing, so I was doing a lot of things on social media. I have always done these support groups with Brenda though, and I've always done the weekly lives with Brenda as well. If you're wondering about what I'm talking about, I think towards the end we'll go over our Crowdcast channel and I'll show you guys how you can access those lives in other past support groups if that interests you too. So then my role has kind of transferred into more of an account representative role. I have my own region with ProCare Health, and I'm really excited to start. Well, it's been a year already with being an account rep, but I'm really excited to finally get to be seeing people in person, and of course these support groups. I feel like they're in person sometimes. I love when there's interaction in the chat box. So definitely make sure that you're doing that, like Brenda said, because it gives me something to do. That's basically my job, is to help Brenda and give my 2 cents. Like, it's worth that.
It definitely is. Brittany did. She actually put together the pizza recipes that we have, and they were so good. Like, my mouth is watering.
They were surprisingly really good. And we have some ones that are easy too. So if you're worried about it being hard, don't worry. There's ones that I would say take a little bit more effort, but they're not hard. So we'll have a few options for everybody tonight. And there was one more thing. Oh yes, I don't know if we already said this, but please feel free to use the Ask a Question feature too in our in this little platform that we have on Crowdcast. It's easy for people who rewatch. If they have the same question, then they can go to that part where Brenda has answered the question. And plus it's easier for us to keep track of what questions we've already answered and whatnot. So we do have a little surprise for you guys, so make sure you stick around. And I'll hand it off to Brenda.
Okay. Thanks, Brittany. So for those of you, I see some people who's been with us before, so we're going to kind of go over all those people saying hello here in a moment. So hello and welcome. And for those of you guys who don't know me, my background is in nursing. I actually worked in the medical field for some time now. I did emergency department nursing for about 20 years, and then I moved into quality management, moved into holistic health, and then moved in. My last role was bariatric surgery, and I worked in a bariatric surgery department where we saw pre-op and post-op patients. I did a lot of their. I actually was our coordinator for that program. Did a lot of pre-evaluations, post-evaluations. Did all of our education. Helped with our marketing. Just kind of a jack of all trades, and got to meet a lot of patients and kind of learn, what kind of things kind of help them. So in the back of our minds, that's what we're always thinking of, like trying to create really valuable content for you guys, because we know kind of what it's like. I actually had my own journey of weight loss surgery back in 2013. I had the sleeve gastrectomy, and it's been just a wonderful tool to help keep me in line. And these things, these events, and you guys help keep me motivated and keep going. 10 years of staying steady and consistent, and just kind of keep going forward. So I love all of you. The community itself is just a wonderful way to be here. So that is a little bit about me. I also have done life coaching before, have a certification in that. So I kind of try to include some of those little things to try to help you guys, because it's really, the thing is a lot of the stuff you guys may have even heard before. You never know, but it's about reminders and just kind of helping support people to keep all of you guys on track, and supporting others, because really all of you guys are on this journey. I was reading some of the comments while we were coming through, so I'm going to go back. And Brittany, I'll read a few, and then I'll let you read a few. It looks like somebody did say somebody might be having trouble hearing us.
Yeah, so I'm actually, if you don't mind, I'm just going to talk for a little bit, and please let me know if you guys are having issues hearing me. Brenda and I did an audio check before we started, and Brenda, did you have any issues?
No,
I can try holding the mic up like this too. Maybe that might be clearer.
Yeah, we want to make sure. So it looks like, let me kind of go back up. It looks like we have Tamara from Georgia. She's pre-op. Kathy Hill. Hello, Kathy. I met her at the last conference. Obesity Action Coalition had a conference called Your Weight Matters in Las Vegas around the 13th. It's been maybe a couple weeks now, and I met Kathy. She's going to be joining us. Brittany, I haven't even shared with you yet.
Oh, you did it.
Kathy is going to be joining us on one of these calls, and we're kind of preparing for that. We also have Takesha. She's from Georgia. She's pre-op. We have Donna, post-op. We have Philip, post-op, April 25th. Oh, that's recent. Do you want to read some? You want to take over from there on Marcia?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was reading some of the other ones because they said that I am a little bit softer, but they can hear me, so that's good. Hello from Targetville, New Brunswick, Canada. We have a Canadian. Hello, welcome. Happy to be here. Happy to have you. Donna says, I'm having trouble here. Oh, yeah. That's when she said she was having trouble hearing me. Marcia is also post-op. Love it. Welcome.
It looks like Marcia's from Lexington.
Oh, GC's here.
Yay!
And Kathy, I actually recognize your name, even though we haven't met in person yet. I wonder if she's been on one of these support groups or lives before.
She said she has.
Okay, that's probably why it looks familiar. Hi, Cheryl. All right, you want to run the next one?
Okay. Cheryl's post-op. Michelle says, or I think it's Michelle. I'm 6 months post-op. Another Brittany F. Hi all. She says GC can stay till we have our support group. So she has a support group this evening too.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know you guys always had yours on the same night. If you ever want to have us come back, we'd love to be with you again. Tamara says you guys are breaking up a bit. Brittany, I'm hearing a echo for some reason. Do you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Let me pull it down. Maybe it's because I'm touching it. Hi, Scotty.
Marcia says Costco cauliflower pizza is awesome. And it looks like Kathy met you in Orlando.
Oh, that's why you. Okay. Hi. That's right. I remember now. You came up to me, and I think, weren't you the lady that said you're much shorter in person?
You can't tell how tall we are here, can you?
I'm very, I'm short, yeah.
And Scotty, we got to meet Scotty in person too. Well, we got to meet her online, I guess. Online. She was on one of our events, you guys. We're going to share a Crowdcast platform channel here. If some of you aren't followers of us, you have to check that out. Scotty was with us with one of those. GC says, thank you. Michelle says, yes, this is Michelle without an E at the end. LOL. I love that spelling. It's so unique.
Yeah, me too.
And no echo here, she says. So that's good. We love that.
Do you hear it still, Brenda?
Mm-hmm. But it's just very light. I'm going to turn my microphone down. Maybe that's it. Okay.
And Peg, she said that she is 2016 sleeved. And I think she said, I'm sorry, she's gained 50 pounds. Regain is, unfortunately, it can be very common. So we actually have a support group where we talk about that too, and plateaus. If you'd be interested, I would be happy to grab the link for you. We have some pointers, but just for now, Brenda, do you have any encouraging words for Peg? Or does anyone in the chat? We're here to all support each other too.
Absolutely. I would just say, the biggest thing, number one, is developing a starting point. And to me, that starting point is believing in yourself that you can. Everything's temporary. Your body is miraculous and it can change at any point. So don't ever feel like you're stuck somewhere. Last night I actually did that presentation, Brittany, for another support group. Mm-hmm. And so it's so fresh in my mind. And I would just say, develop a little empowerment plan, I'm going to call it, for yourself, and really look at what you want, why you want it, because your why is going to push you further. And one example I gave is, if anybody's ever watched some of the reality shows, either Alone or Naked and Afraid, you guys have heard me talking about them before.
Oh my gosh, Brenda.
I love them. I'm just going to say, the thing is in order for somebody to make it through some of those big challenges, you have to have a big why. Like, you won't last unless you have a mental persuasion to do so. So I would just say that's one of the big keys, is to know your why, and then take baby steps. You intuitively know probably what to do, but write it down. Take baby steps. Maybe it's first step may even be researching where you want to start.
I think Kathy hit it on the head too. She said mindfulness. Go back to your basics, measure, hydrate. You can do this. And I agree. You can do this. You got this. It's just a little bump in the road. It's okay. But yeah, just go back to, like Brenda was saying, I think you were talking about journaling and writing it down, or maybe you were leading up to that. And, if that's what it takes for you to get back on track, then do what you got to do. Sometimes
it's just being aware of maybe why you are where you are. Is it like becoming aware, like maybe looking at what your day-to-day activities are? Is there something that you're doing different that you weren't doing in the beginning? Kind of like Kathy said, going back to basics. Sometimes when we become aware, we can start making little tweaks in what we do. Maybe it's drinking too much sweet tea, or maybe it's eating late at night. That's one of my biggest things. I wait until 9 o'clock sometimes to eat. But you have to look at your own patterns and then maybe figure out what might be the first steps to be able to start taking to get you back.
Actually, Kathy said get an accountability buddy. I love that. Yes, I love that. And you can find people too that are willing to help you just at these conferences. Kathy, you were there in Orlando. Some of these people have never met each other in person, and they've met, through these support groups or online or Instagram or Facebook groups. I encourage you to get out there, see what your community has. Who knows, you might have a bariatric pal or buddy or bestie near you that can be an accountability buddy. So thank you for saying that, Kathy.
And one thing I'm going to post, Brittany, because I think it's pertinent now, talking about support. So attending things like this is super helpful. If you need an ongoing community, Bari Nation is one of our picks. And I'm going to put their link here. I'm typing it out, so apologize for the extra noise with that. But they're a great community. And we're going to be actually starting to do events in their forum as well. Free events and then also paid events. So Kathy says, my clinic support group does this, shares contacts with each other. I have a couple other folks that I email with. Yeah, Kathy, if you want to share that, you're welcome to. Any support, any extra support that these people have is always helpful. So, should we get started?
Yeah, I think so. We're 15 minutes in, so we probably should.
Okay, let's get this party started. So, basically,
I'm gonna get up real quick and just close my blinds. Go ahead, though, Brenda. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's
sure.
Why my camera's like glaring.
No, that's great. My light's changing a little bit too. So when it comes to making some of our favorite staples, we're going to say like pizza for families. Sometimes we struggle with coming up with versions that are what we call bariatric friendly. And here we're going to share some versions that may not only please you, but please your family as well, you know, because you're not only making, a lot of times when you make a pizza, you're making it for maybe your kids or your husband or your wife, your spouse, you know, whatever. But we also want to make sure it's always good to feel good about your choices. And so we're going to talk about some unique ways to enjoy pizza. And I want you guys also to feel free to put your comments in the chat section because we care about maybe you have some ideas that maybe we're not mentioning. The very first thing, we're going to be kind of going through a couple things. Let me bring up my little agenda so I can kind of pinpoint. So we're going to talk about the main ingredients in pizza. We're going to talk about different varieties of crusts, okay? We're also going to talk about non-pizza versions, okay? Got your eyebrows going up there, maybe thinking about that one a little bit. We're also going to discuss macros. Macros related to pizza. And then we have some handouts for you. We have some pizza recipes that we put together. There's 3 of them. And then also we have our pizza party recipe video shoot that we're really excited about sharing. And that's only about a 5-minute little video. So
It's just a short clip.
That's kind of our starting points. Yes. So let's first talk about the crust, okay? Is there any comments, Brittany? I'm kind of like
No.
off
Actually,
here.
Michelle, she did say that she's from the Lakeland area, and I think that she was sharing that in hopes that maybe there would someone be near her. I'm not sure if she's looking for, you know, some support that's near her. Michelle, I would also encourage you, if that is what you're looking for, if you have Facebook, get in one of those Facebook groups in your area for bariatric patients. That's a great way to meet fellow patients and just be around people that know what you're going through.
And I noticed too, back up in the comments we missed, she said, I'm always hungry and started to eat more. Alone is my favorite. So she's alone with me.
I know.
She's
I
alone.
did see that. I
you know
didn't
what?
see either of these shows, and now I really want to.
I talk about it all the time because it's like
This is
one
not
of the only.
first time she's brought up Naked and Afraid. I think that she has like a thing, guys.
You know what though? There's not very much that me and my husband have in common when we're watching TV. I'm just going to be honest. I am going to be honest. Like he likes watching hunting videos and he likes watching all these he likes watching shoot 'em up movies and stuff like that. It's not my thing. So we agree on those two. So we can sit down and binge watch those. That's kind of fun. One thing I want to say is I'm always hungry and started to eat more. You know, one thing I would suggest is, because I get like that too, I would just suggest, try eating more small meals throughout the day. That might help you. I usually eat probably 5 or 6 meals during the day and just kind of try to cut them up. And your snack meals can be something like 100 calories. They don't have to be a lot. Sometimes it's just a bite of peanut butter or something like that.
Or like a handful of nuts or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also planning. I just want to say, adding to what Brenda said, planning helps a ton too. If you feel like you're doing a lot of unnecessary snacking, if you are planning out your meals throughout the day, then you're setting yourself up to succeed.
Yeah. There is a comment on here. I know we're talking about pizza, but Shaquille, I hope I'm saying that right, says, I've been on the ProCare website for a couple weeks and cannot find my cinnamon roll flavor. Is it discontinued?
It's not discontinued. It's unfortunately just sold out right now. There was an issue with the manufacturer. We do have some ordered. I don't have an update on when they'll be in stock. I'm so sorry, but I am sure that we will send out an email. So what I can do for you actually is, if you would like, I will put my email address in the chat box. Feel free to email me, and then I will have your contact info, and I'll email you and let you know when they're back in stock.
Oh, it's Shaquille. I love that. It's pretty.
Well, okay, that is pretty. Shaquille.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting
Send her an email. Scotty is also. She said she watches Negative Freight. I almost feel they're totally different. Yeah, they're totally different. Okay, I'm going to kind of get back to our pizza. Otherwise, we'll never get through the pizza stuff. Well, let's talk about the crust first, okay? We're going to be talking about that, the sauces and seasonings, the cheeses, the toppings, and then we're going to move into our video, okay? So let's talk about the crust. Most crusts are made from wheat, water, yeast, by kneading for about 5 to 10 minutes until everything is kind of perfectly moved together. But there are different kinds of modifications, okay? Such as protein tortillas, I hope I'm saying that right, cauliflower crust, mushrooms,
I've heard it both ways.
chicken crust.
I say tortilla, but I've heard people say tortilla.
You know how I am, Brittany. I always kind of have a funny wang with the way I say things. It's like a southern thing, I guess.
Perryville-ism.
It's my Perryville. I'm in the country. So different. I am in the country very much. Protein, tortillas, cauliflower, mushrooms, chicken crust. Those were all going to be. We have on video. Chickpea crust, sweet potato crust. I'd never heard of that. Whenever I did my research, I was like, wow, spaghetti squash crust. And so basically, depending on what you want, there's also ones that you can make that are like a dessert pizza version. So you could kind of, get a little bit fancy about, like, Pinterest is an amazing tool. I'm just going to put that out there because you can find thousands and thousands of recipes out there. Healthy, just type in healthy pizza recipe and up pops all these zillions, even in Google, internet's so wonderful. But toppings can be applied to the crust before or after baking. And some versions don't even use a crust. Personally, myself, whenever I eat pizza, I know it sounds really crazy, but I actually eat my toppings and I don't always eat the crust just because it fills me up so much and it makes me uncomfortable. So sometimes I'll eat a little bit, but a lot of times I just skip the crust altogether and I eat all the toppings because it's my favorite part.
Can you guys hear me
now? Brittany, too. I can,
test.
Brittany.
I just changed my mic again because they said that they're having a hard time hearing me. Go on, Brenda. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, it's okay. In fact, you might have some things some other ways. One of my favorite ways to make a crust is either on the in the air fryer, or on the pellet grill. If you guys haven't tried that, it's so wonderful. And I like spraying like a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of my pizza crust and putting like a little bit of garlic salt, just to add a little extra flavor. Brittany, anything you want to say about pizza crust?
I don't want to get into too much until we show them like the recipes and stuff, but because I don't want to ruin it. But yeah, just be creative. That's the only thing that I wanted to say. If we don't have a pizza topping listed, comment your favorite one that you like to put. If we missed it, I don't really like pineapple on pizza. I know people do. So it won't be in my recipe, but that doesn't mean that you can't put it on yours. So, yeah. Oh, I think we do have a question. Hold on one second. So we do have a question. How about self-rising flour in Greek yogurt? Have you ever tried that, Brenda? I personally have not.
No, I'm super interested though. I'm trying to see who asked the question. Peg asked the question. Is that something you've made before, Peg? Type it in and let us know. That is so interesting. I love Greek yogurt for whatever reason here lately, because that would be like something I would eat every single day. And here lately, it's kind of been hurting my belly. I think it might be the lactose. I don't know, because sometimes I'm sensitive to that. But that sounds good. Maybe if it's baked, it would be different.
I really want to try it now because I just Googled it and it says that it's a 2-ingredient pizza crust.
Huh. And let's see. Oh, Kathy Hill also just put her for accountability buddies. She has her Gmail address there too. If anybody wants to connect with her too on that. So I'm gonna. Peg says yes, wonderful. The next thing I want to kind of touch on here is sauces and seasonings. So I'm going to mention quite a few. Some of these are ones that kind of came forefront to my mind whenever we were putting all this together, and some of them were like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. So some things like, Brittany, do you have the handout? I'll mention the first few if you want to. And then I'll let you do the last few. The first one here I have is a traditional tomato based, which most people know about. So if you also grow your own herbs, which I love to do, you can add in things like oregano or basil or I'm trying to think, onion, some of the chives and things like that. Those are all amazing things. You could even probably put like thyme, rosemary or something like that, depending on what all other versions. And really, that's only like 28 calories for a fourth a cup. So it's pretty low calorie. And actually, I feel like tomatoes pretty good for you. Some tomato paste-based sauces do have a little bit more sugar in them. So you can kind of watch that if you're being kind of cautious of carbohydrates or sugar. But you can actually make your own tomato based. And I'm actually just bought, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Mrs. Wages. They're like seasonings that you can purchase. I buy a bunch of them in the summertime, like since I have a garden, and it has recipes on the back, but they have all the seasonings and you can just add your tomatoes to that. So that's something kind of fun. I make my own. Pizza pasta. I make pasta sauce. I make spaghetti sauce. Sometimes I've made ketchup before, but it was so much work. It was too much work for me. Easier to buy it. And the next one I have is, pesto, another lower version and higher in fiber. Okay. White garlic sauce. Traditionally, it can be made with milk, salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese. Now, it is a little higher most times than calorie-wise than some of your others, but you can also just purchase something like the Prego Light Alfredo or Classic Light Alfredo, something like that. They do have versions out there in the market that you can, run out there and check out. And then, Brittany, I'll let you kind of follow up with our last 4 or 5 here that we have.
Sure. So the next one that we have is our garlic ranch sauce. You can use light ranch dressing instead of regular. And you can also add in a spice of garlic. Or if you're one of those people that like an extra heat, like not temperature, but if you like spice, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. if you like your foods extra spicy, another thing that you could do for actually any of these sauces that we're talking about is you could add in crushed red pepper flakes, and that actually really livens the sauce up. That's what my husband puts in his whenever he makes the homemade sauce, and I really like it. And what's nice is that a little goes a long way, so you don't need to use a whole lot to get that kind of like mild flavor. And the next one that we have is hummus. which I've never heard of this, but it actually is getting, I think it's getting more popular because I was at a pizza place not too long ago and they actually had a hummus pizza. It was very interesting. My friend who's a vegetarian, that's the one that she got, and she said it was really good. Next up we have buffalo sauce. Has a sour kick and a spicy aftertaste that tingles with vinegar flavor. Only 1.8 calories per 16 gram serving. I also meant to say that hummus is a great alternative for a vegan option too. And you can replace not only the sauce, but the cheese topping as well for something that's vegan. And then the next one that we have is our marinara sauce. So marinara is slightly lighter sauce, meaning like less calories, while most pizza sauce has a very thick consistency with 5 times more vitamin K, actually. So the only thing that I want to say here is that even if you're doing store-bought, that is totally fine. If you are feeling creative and you want to make your own, that is also great. If you're doing store-bought, though, just be careful and make sure that you're looking at number one, how many servings are in just one container, and you're looking at the macros and the sugar and carbs, like Brenda said. And then the last, we have a white light cream cheese topping. This is great for dessert pizzas, which I should have thought about that. We should have made a dessert pizza, Brenda.
I know.
There's always next time, guys. We can always make more videos. But the 2 classic pizza seasonings are oregano and I'm sorry, I skipped over that one. But yeah, for great dessert pizzas, I mean, you can put all kinds of fruit on there. You could put, I know there's sugar-free chocolate syrup now. You could even do a drizzle of that. What do you think, Brenda? Do you have any toppings that you would put on a dessert pizza?
Oh, I've made them a lot before. Fruit. So you can put, is that what you said? I'm sorry. Did you say fruit?
Yeah, but I also said like sugar-free chocolate so what would you put on yours?
I've put strawberries before, kiwi. I've put bananas. I usually dip my bananas in like a lemon juice so that they don't get brown.
Yeah.
I've put, I'm trying to think, apples, oranges. I mean, you can put a lot of different things. I've also made a vegetable pizza with cream cheese, like a light cream cheese, and put vegetables on it. So cut up the vegetables really small and put like carrots and cucumbers and peppers. And it's not baked. It's just, the crust is baked, but the toppings are just fresh. It's almost like having a vegetable tray on top of
really
a
interesting.
crust.
I might have to get that recipe from you because I have
Yeah.
that next week.
Pampered Chef. It was Pampered Chef recipes, both of them. But yeah, I'd be happy to give them to you, but super easy. Really just cream cheese, and I can't remember if I mixed it with anything, on top of a regular crust, and then just using your vegetables or your fruit, arranging them. Fun.
And you could, obviously we could make that like a lighter option. You could get the fat-free cream cheese, and you could use a cauliflower, probably like an already put together cauliflower crust, and it would be probably the same thing, don't you think?
I bet so. And I want to read some of these because there's some really good comments. I hadn't even thought about this. Stephanie says cauliflower Alfredo sauce. I have never heard of that, but that actually sounds pretty good on Pinterest. Would work on pizza if you like a white sauce. Marcia says hummus pizza. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you got to think, well, I have to try it. Kathy says peanut butter, nuts, dried fruit. Make a banana split pizza with yogurt. Oh, I never thought about yogurt as a topping. Free ice cream toppings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's like sugar-free Hershey syrup. There's caramel syrup. There's strawberry syrup. That's all sugar-free now. I don't know if they have sugar-free, like other toppings, but that would be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, the next thing I want to kind of jump onto is is cheese. So the most common causes of traditionally, the most common topping found on most pizzas, is cheese. And most of the time it's mozzarella. Sometimes people will put ricotta, feta, parmesan. I love parmesan on my pizza. Cheddar, Monterey. Yeah. And so basically, some are really rich with protein, calcium, but they can have high amounts of fat. So just depending on what you want your macros to be, we're going to be talking about macros here in a little bit. Macros means the amount of fat, protein, and carbohydrates. So everybody's diet's a little different in what they want to get out of the meal. Everybody may have different expectations of that. So just basically based on what you want. If you wanted less fat, you could use a low-fat cheese. If you wanted more protein, maybe you could look at certain types of cheddar probably have more protein than just cheddar, but certain types of cheeses might have more. So just wherever you want to spend your macro allotment is what I'd say, just kind of looking at that.
We have a question, Brenda. I'll let
and then
you
the next,
answer that.
Yeah.
Kathy just wants to know if we prepared a handout with all the options that we've been sharing. It looks like did you send her a handout? Or is she looking at the one online?
I wonder if she's talking about this, what we're talking about today. Did you prepare a handout with the options you are sharing? Looked at the handout in that section, and there isn't all the goodies you're talking about. No, we didn't have anything that actually breaks all this down, what we're talking about. But we do have a handout that it's called Healthy Pizza. Let's see what the name of it is. It is called Healthy Pizza Alternatives. It's under our recipes section. We'll show you guys where that is here in just a second.
I put the link in the chat box just now.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Brittany.
Yeah, no problem. That would be the handout that we would have, though, Kathy.
Yeah, and we also have a video, which we'll be sharing here, that actually has some of the things, too. So that one has 3 recipes, but we didn't really break down. These are just kind of our own notes that we had that we kind of talking points that we wanted to hit on. But that's a great idea. Really, Brittany, it's something we could have done, a little handout on all this. Kind of helpful to kind of have some talking points of thinking points, Sometimes it's easier whenever you're starting to make some things. The next thing I want to talk about is toppings. And so toppings kind of are those things that are placed on top of the pizza, obviously. And it's not only just for the visual pleasure of seeing it, but it's also maintains kind of the control of the amount of moisture in the food in the baking process. The most common bed for the various toppings is cheese because it does give extra moisture. It has some but it also makes things firm and it kind of makes them stick together. But some other things, and we kind of have already shared some of these things, so they're kind of obvious. Brittany, I'll share the first few, and then I'll let you share some too. The first thing here is vegetables. Now, some things may be first and foremost in your mind, but some things may be new to your thought process here. I have carrots, tomatoes, mushrooms, onions, black olives, beans and peppers, spinach. Those are some different things that kind of come to my mind. If you guys think of anything else, please put it in the chat box because maybe you have something that you really like on there as far as vegetables. The next thing here is nuts. And I really, it's not something I've ever tried, but things like almonds, and Kathy mentioned it on the dessert pizza, things like almonds, peanuts, pistachios, pine nuts, walnuts, things like that. Herbs and spices. Now, this is my category. I love having lots of seasoning on my stuff. So basil, garlic, oregano, pepper, rosemary, thyme. I've already mentioned some of those. And then seafood. I love shrimp. I don't know that I've ever had salmon on a pizza, but that's one. Lobster, anchovies. I've seen people order anchovies on them before. Tuna, oysters. All different kinds of things. And Brittany, I'm going to pause because I see if you have any comments, and then I'll let you kind of take over for the rest of the categories here.
Marsha said that she made a comment, and she just said that she would love to know more about the dessert pizza. So I actually, while Brenda was talking, I actually pulled up a pizza recipe that I think would work. So When we were talking about dessert pizzas, I think that maybe people are kind of confused on the crust. So the crust, you could use like a normal pizza. You could try and use a cauliflower crust. I think that both of those would be okay because once it's cooked, it doesn't really have any of those flavors. I probably would stay away from seasoning it though with Italian seasoning and garlic salt, like what Brenda was talking about for your traditional pizza. You can also have like the recipe that I just found, and I can share the link if you're interested. It is a gluten-free granola crust. So basically they're taking rolled oats and crushed up granola, and it's sugar-free, and they use honey and what else? I just had it. Sorry, guys. Coconut oil, vanilla, cinnamon, salt, and honey. And then a little bit of flour to help it all stick together. So you could make a gluten-free crust that way. I saw a sugar-free cookie crust. Of course, you know, as Brenda said, macros, if that's important to you and you have something that you want to stay on path with, obviously you're going to want to look at and see what each type of crust is going to do for you and if that aligns with your goals. But there's definitely healthy options for you to make a dessert pizza. I mean, Brenda, did you have any other
one thing that I guess I didn't even think about that when you were talking about it. I think how I've always made mine was with crescent rolls, like the kind in the little round container that are kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
Now that, I don't know that that's really the healthiest option. But some of the things you mentioned really kind of sound good. Just something to kind of give you a base. Thanks for looking it up.
I was going to say, Brenda, this is great because we have something else planned coming up that I think would work for this.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Okay. I made a note.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Oh, you wanted me to share the rest of those. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Were we on toppings still?
We are on the last two of toppings.
Okay, next up we got meats. So obviously, you know, you can put a wide variety of meats. I would say there's probably some meats that are a little bit more leaner than others. So out of this list, probably chicken, even some meatballs, depending on, you know, how they're cooked and all of that. Barbecued meat, sometimes that is going to be leaner too. It just, again, it depends on the type of meat. But you can also get bacon, sausage, ham, salami, even duck in some places. Tell us what you like on your pizza as far as meat. And then we also have exotic toppings.
Yeah.
Oh, and Canadian bacon. Brenda, you forgot Canadian. We have someone that's in Canada on the call too. I don't think it's actually Canadian, though, is it? Anyways.
I don't know.
So then lastly we have your more exotic toppings. And this kind of goes in line with our dessert pizzas like we were just talking about. So this could be dark chocolate, could be fruit, strawberries, blueberries, apples, any fruit that you want. I've even seen people cut up grapes and put them on there, like cut them in half and stick them on there. Or you could always wait until our chocolate comes back in stock and you could use that as a topper too on your dessert pizza and get your calcium in.
Yum. We've experimented with our dark chocolate and melted it too. And you can actually dip it in strawberries, make chocolate covered strawberries. You can put it in recipes. I've done that. So anyways, just a little, s'mores. You can make a s'mores pizza. So like a lot of these fruit pizzas, guys, you really wouldn't want to, bake your fruit. I mean, that sounds probably obvious. I mean, that's probably obvious. It's probably silly that I'm even saying that, but like you would bake your crust, whatever kind of crust, but you probably wouldn't want to bake, you know, if you have fruit on there, because it might not taste all that good. It might kind of get yucky.
Like mushy. And usually when we say bake the pizza, we're talking about just the crust. Usually dessert pizzas are served cold. At least the ones that I have had in the past, they've been cold. And I think it's, like you said, it's probably to just make sure that the fruit is preserved and tastes good.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see here. So, guys, we are kind of getting closer on time. We're going to just talk about, we're going to actually show our little short video. It's about 5 minutes. And we're going to be talking about different varieties of crust. We're going to talk about the portobello mushroom pizza, cauliflower crust pizza, keto chicken crust pizza. And so we have a little video on those, and we'll be attaching a handout for the recipes. Is it okay if we jump into that, guys? Is everybody okay with that?
Kathy said, green and golden kiwis add some fun color and texture. Pomegranate seeds, mandarin oranges. I love pomegranate seeds. My only complaint is that they can kind of be expensive. Have you noticed that? Or is that just me, maybe?
Sometimes hard to find, too.
There's definitely...
Somebody asked what's the best crust?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a question.
No. Finish up that. What's the best crust for pizza? So I guess it kind of depends on... really, it's individual, like what you like. I would say we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna share a little bit about macros here in just a moment. So, like, depending on, by macros, I'm meaning how much, like, fat, how much protein, how much everything that you want to get into. I mean, I'll just share right now, really, about the macros. I would just say it depends on what you want in your crust, like how much fat you want in it, how much protein you want in it, how much carbohydrates. One good way to be able to tell is if you bought a store-bought pizza crust, it'll have it on the labeling. Another way you can do it is you can put your ingredients into an app. For example, like MyFitnessPal or Bariatric, and it'll actually pull up. Like when Brittany and I did these recipes, we used, I don't know if Brittany did, but I used the Bariatric app or FitnessPal app, and I put all of our ingredients in, and then it calculates automatically how much of each of those categories or how much total, and then that way you know. So like if you put in, like you're making a whole pizza and you put in all the ingredients that you're making the pizza with, if you don't have a label to look off of, you can actually divide that by however much of the pizza that you're eating, and that kind of helps you. So there's really not a best crust for pizza. I would just say whatever you like, but depending on also what you want in your macros could be helpful. Looks like Kathy's... Oh, go ahead, Brittany.
I was just going to say, in my opinion, or to my liking, I guess, out of the 3 pizzas that we're going to show you guys in the video, my favorite are probably the mini mushroom pizzas. And that's because I love mushrooms. But maybe Brenda doesn't like them. And, maybe she would prefer to have a cauliflower crust that's still low carb, so it does the same thing, but it's just a different kind of crust. I hope that makes sense.
No, absolutely, 100%. And Kathy did say pomegranate seeds are easier to find at Christmas. That's probably true, because I usually see them about that time.
I was going to say, I think I see them usually closer, like the end of fall, beginning of winter, yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to see our video here pop up. I want to show you, ProCare Health does have a YouTube channel. We really post everything on there. We don't really advertise it. We don't really have a lot of subscribers, but if you're interested, we have tons and tons of videos on there. Literally almost all of our lives that we've done, minus just a few, are on there. So there's a home button, there's videos section, which is all of them, of course, and then there's playlists like our weekly. We have our weekly lives. We have ProCare Health recipes, some top frequently asked questions, some other things. So I'm going to actually just jump over to our healthy pizza recipes, and I'm going to make this big so that you guys can see it full screen, and I'm going to play it.
Oh, it X'd out of it, Brenda.
I'm going to stop, guys, because that was way too loud. I'm trying to...
Oh, I thought
Guys,
maybe it was just my computer. I turned my volume
no,
down.
I'm turning my volume down, and then I'm going to play it again because it was like way too loud. Sorry about that, guys, if I busted out your eardrums. I was trying to get back. I stopped sharing just so I could get back on my thing. Okay, let's go again and try this again, and hopefully you guys can hear it because I couldn't get to the volume. So I adjusted, and let's try this again. Brittany, stop me if it's still too loud. Okay? Here we go, guys.
Now I don't hear anything. Is it muted on the video? No.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Let's try this a third time. Oh, Lord. Next time we're going to do a test before on our video, whenever we do it, okay, before we start. Sorry, guys. We're going to do this one more time. Promise, I hope to be perfect this time. I have to press a certain button whenever I do this in order for it to share correctly. So here we go.
Today we're going to be doing a pizza party, and we're going to start with our crust. So I'm not going to actually do any assembling. I'm just going to talk about all the different crusts I have here because you guys actually have quite a few options. So the first one I have are actually giant portobello mushrooms. And what I really like about these is that they're very versatile. So you can put them in the oven and broil them, or if you have an air fryer, it's super easy and it's done in like 5 minutes. Perfect. Very low carb, low calorie, and still high in protein, depending on the toppings that you put on it. So next, we are going to go over some store-bought options, actually, because I know that that's sometimes easier for people. So first, we have another high protein, and this actually is a great addition for any bariatric patient. The reason being is 1 serving of these actually packs 18 grams of protein. So this is a great option for you guys. Next up, we have a cauliflower crust. I know you guys saw it coming, right? You can definitely make this on your own. However, there is a benefit to buying store-bought stuff too. If you're one of those people that like to track your macros, for example, just scanning the barcode on the back here makes it super easy to do that. So these are 2 great options, also low in calories and carbs, but can be high in protein. And then last but not least, we have a homemade chicken protein crust that I made. This is going to be a better option for people who maybe have kids and a family, because this is going to be, as you can tell, definitely a bigger pizza. So for a bariatric patient, I would say this is probably about 4 servings, whereas this is probably 1 or 2. So it just kind of depends on what you're going for and who you're catering to. All right, now we're getting to the fun part. We're going to do some assembling here. So I have your basic pizza ingredients here. Feel free to use whatever you want, though. If you're more of a veggies person, you can definitely do veggies. But me, I'm more of a cheese and pepperoni kind of girl. So we're just going to start assembling. And this is where it can be really fun, too, if you have kids. So I like a lot of sauce, so I'm putting a lot of sauce on it. Brush. And it's important to use a brush if you're someone who is trying to watch your fat content and you're tracking your macros, because it uses the oil a little bit more sparingly. It's a little bit more controllable. All right.
I'm sorry at myself.
It's always fun to watch yourself, Brittany.
Yeah.
And this actually is kind of interesting, this chicken crust, because if you think about it, it's kind of really similar to chicken parmesan too. And that's probably what it'll taste a lot like. All right, so I think we're good on the sauce. Now would be a good time to hit it with some salt and pepper if that's something that you like, or really any seasonings. You can use Italian seasonings too. I'm just gonna use fresh basil.
And actually, guys, I'm going to interject right here. Brenda, can you pause it super
God.
quickly?
Sure.
some.
So when I said I'm going to put fresh basil on it, so I actually had learned that day that the best thing for you to do, so you don't make the same mistake as I do, in order for you to keep the flavor of basil, it's actually much better if you apply it after you've cooked your pizza, and you apply it just kind of chopped up and fresh. I hope that makes sense. Anyways.
Yeah.
Because when I put it on top of the pizza and then I put it in the oven, it looked, it didn't look good.
It kind of cooked it a little overcooked and stuff like that.
It looked like I had like crumbled up leaves and put it on top of my pizza. It still tasted amazing. It just was not aesthetically pleasing.
And I have to laugh. When you were in the background talking while we were doing this just now, it reminded me, have you guys ever watched Beavis and Butthead where they would interject little things in between? Yeah. They'd be watching their own videos. It was what it reminded me of. Anyways. Okay, I'm going to press play again.
Parmesan cheese here too.
Kathy.
Little ninja moves there with the ninja
Next,
sounds.
I'm going to put on some pepperoni.
Little smiley face there,
Right.
Brittany.
And then I'm going to top it with some fresh basil.
See, this part, don't do it.
And you can top this up, but I'm just going to rip it up with my hands. It smells really good. And then we'll save some for garnish too after it's done. Alrighty. All right, now these are ready to go in the oven. All right, so these are fresh out of the oven, and these are the 3 recipes that we went over today. We have the portobello mushrooms, we have the protein crust, and we have the homemade chicken protein crust. Let us know what your favorite pizza toppings are, or what your favorite low-carb crust is, too.
Okay,
Okay, I'll be putting in my 2 weeks now. I'm quitting. I'm becoming a YouTube star.
Anybody else see that? They probably are feeling the same way, Brittany. They're like, yeah, go Brittany.
No, they're like, that girl needs to stick to her day job. Sell those vitamins.
Kathy does give an extra little hint. She says, cut fresh herbs with scissors. Bravo. I guess it probably makes a difference whenever you're cutting it. It probably is a little bit.
It's probably easier, yeah.
So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We enjoyed making that. We have lots more videos too to share with you at different points of these live events. But I'm gonna, we're on the hour, so I'm gonna allow you, Brittany, to kind of share a few things about ProCare, our sponsor, which we absolutely love, because ProCare brings us together, and just want to share some things that might help you guys. So take it away, Britt.
Okie dokie. I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one. Okay. So, can you see my screen, Brenda?
Yes.
Okay. First thing I'm going to go over very quickly is our... hold on. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. We do have a surprise for you guys. We are offering a 10% coupon code to be used on our website, and I will show you our website in just a second. Brenda's going to put the code for me in the chat.
Yes.
It is Pizza Party 10. Super easy to remember. You guys have 2 weeks to use it. It's 10% off your entire order. And yeah.
And it's not case sensitive.
Yes, it's not. Thank you for saying that.
Okay.
And what you'll have to do is you'll have to type that discount code in the checkout box when you're checking out.
And it's Pizza Party 10.
Yep. And there's no space in between pizza and party either. It's all one, it's all together. Okay, so here's our Crowdcast channel. This is what we're using right now for our support group. This is also where our live events that I was chatting about earlier can be found. So Brenda and I typically do weekly live events, and usually they are at 1 p.m. every Wednesday. And you can either access them via our Crowdcast channel, or we do have our Crowdcast channel to simultaneously feed live on Facebook as well. So if you have a free moment on Wednesdays and you'd like to come sit and chat with us, feel free to do that. If not, you can always watch the replay, and you can catch the replays here on our Crowdcast channel too. So that's what this page is. I'll go ahead and copy the link and I'll share that. Here's some things that we have that are fun that's coming up. So as we kind of, we talked about it earlier, Brenda's in the country. So she is a huge gardener, you guys. You should see her garden. It's very impressive. She has not a green thumb. She has a green body. She just loves to grow stuff. So she's really, really good at it too. So if you're interested in learning more about maybe growing your own garden for next year, or what you would like to maybe just learn more about growing in general, I think that would be a really fun live for you guys to attend. We do have a dietitian coming and speaking with us, and she's going to be talking about feeling stuck after surgery and just nutritional strategies for getting and staying on track. And then Brenda and I are actually going to be with Henry, and he's going to be doing a sushi recipe. It's going to be probably similar to what we're doing today. I have not seen any of the recipes yet, but I'm really, really excited because Henry, actually, we've met several times in person at conferences, and you guys, I think, are just going to love him. He's the best. And yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but please look at this link, because we have so many guest speakers coming on, and people that are so great in this community, and they've had, their journey too, and they just want to share it with you guys. So that's what this whole platform is for, is just patients connecting, getting the support that they need, and ultimately sharing your experiences in hopes that it will help us. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to move on to our website, actually, because I want to show you guys how to get free samples in case you're interested in trying any of our ProCare products. Just a little bit about ProCare while I'm pulling up our website. We are known for our once daily bariatric multivitamin. Brenda, I'm going to let you answer.
I sure will. Okay. I'll put in the message. Okay. I was doing that.
So as I was saying, ProCare, we're known for our once daily bariatric multivitamin. So yes, you're hearing that correctly. We put all of the ASMBS guidelines and recommendations into one pill that you only have to take one a day. We offer them in capsules and chewables. I'll put the link to our website too in the chat box. But here's all of the multivitamins for bariatric patients that we offer. So all of our once dailies are going to be found here, these first two. And then we also offer a once daily special 45 formula. This is for people who have higher B12 and low thiamine. So we just made a special formula because we were seeing trends like that. And then we also have, if you are a DS patient, or if you have received the Zadie procedure, we also have a vitamin specifically for you, because yes, your needs are different than a sleeve or gastric bypass patient. You just need a little bit more in your vitamin. So that being said, if you guys have any samples that you would like to try, we offer free sample packs. And in order to do that, you would just go to our website. I'm actually copying the link right now. You actually go to our website, click the free sample link here at the top of the page. You'll just fill out this form, pretty straightforward. And if you have any particular formulas or products or flavors that you would like to try, you just want to include that in the message, and we will do our absolute best to fulfill whatever request that you have. As long as we have the products in stock, we'll do our best to give you samples to try. And then we recently added we've had calcium supplements. We've recently added a new flavor of their calcium supplements. So if you're a huge fan of our cinnamon roll, maybe you would like to try the mocktails, or you can always ask for a free sample and just specify mocktails. These are really good, and it's just a fun summer twist on fruity drinks. There is no alcohol in these guys, but you are getting your calcium, and they just taste really good, so it's easy to remember. There's no sugar alcohols, there's no artificial sweeteners, so if that's a concern of yours. We actually are the only company that has an all-natural calcium chew on the market, and we also added probiotics in the formula to help you with your gut health. And then lastly, I do want to show you guys our protein super quick because it is amazing. And we only have an introductory price for a limited time. So our protein, we have 2 flavors. We have vanilla and chocolate. And this protein, you guys, is so good. You should be able to request samples for this as well. So if you're interested in that, just put that in there. And like I said, as long as we have it in stock, we will do our best to fulfill it. Lastly, I just want to show you guys where the support group handouts are at, in case you want to check those out. So if you watch a replay of any of our groups, and then if we are referring to handouts within the replay in the video, this is where you're going to find that. So as you can see here, here's our crowd pass that's linked here. And these are all of the links to some of the recipes that Brenda and I have actually already done. So if you're looking for more recipes, take a look at this page. I'm sure we can find something that you guys would love. These chicken meatballs Brenda made were actually amazing. And yeah, so we just have a ton of topics on here. I think it was Peg that said that she was dealing with regain. Here's triumphing over plateaus and regain. There's handouts there that can help you through. There's even a journaling exercise that can help you get more into the habit of, tracking. There's also habit changers here. If you're someone who's not been good at that, we have a solution for that too. So we have, basically everything bariatric related and even then some. So, any questions about our website?
Chewing my calcium. The mocktails. I'm having a little mocktail right now.
Yeah. I did want to say that we also have a limited time bundle that's available, and you guys can actually use that discount code for 10% off the bundle as well on checkout. And this is the first time that ProCare has offered a bundle, so it's really exciting because you get a 60 count of our multivitamin soft chews, which these taste really good too. This is not a once daily formula though. The recommendation for this is 2 to 4 chews, just depending on what surgery that you had. But you get this, you get the choice of vanilla or protein, and then you also get the new mocktails that Brenda just showed you on camera. So you get a chance to try all 3 new products, and it comes out to be about a month's worth of vitamins, roughly. It just depends on how many, like your chews that you're taking here. If you're taking 2 a day, then yes, this would last you about a month. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. Absolutely. See if anybody else has any questions.
Oh, and the bundle is only, I didn't even give them a price. It is, it is on sale for 27% off our retail price at $74.99. And then if you use that 10% coupon, that would save you an additional 10%.
Pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to try all the new products.
I like bargain. Yeah.
I do too. I'm always in for the bargain, the shopping, and that type of thing. But does anybody have any questions? Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything that they want to add to anything we said?
seasoning?
Um,
Marsha said she just got the bundle the other day, so Marsha knows. Ask Marsha.
Marsha, have you received it yet? Let us know if you received it. Give us some testimonial, whether you like it, don't like it. I really like the new, I am in love with our new chews, I'm not going to lie. And our mocktails, the two new products, and the protein powder. We've also, you guys, on our website, when we're talking about recipes, we've actually done a bunch of recipes with the protein powder. Those are on that site Brittany showed you on our support group page with our new protein powder. If you want to try something out, you want to try something, just not be eating a protein powder, you're wanting to try a recipe with one. Michelle says, thank you for the pizza options. And Marcia, yes, so far I like the mocktails and chews. Oh, good. They're so chewy. Like, look at this. It's like a chew. They're really soft.
I know, they're so soft. And
they melt in your mouth.
Yeah.
No aftertaste.
The new chews that she's talking about, I have not had weight loss surgery. And I take one of these a day, and that's basically all that I need. But I would think that these would be a benefit to have, especially if you're a household that has like younger kids, or maybe you have a partner that hasn't had weight loss surgery, because everyone needs their vitamins. Bariatric patients just more so need them.
Well, and Brittany and I have laughed before because my son, he takes vitamins, and one day he came in and he's like, can I try one of them? I'm like, yeah, you can have one. And he got the bottle and he just kept eating them. I'm like, you got it. You only are supposed to take one. You only got to take one. And he's like, he's 27.
You're gonna have some
and I'm like, you just have to stop. And Brittany said her husband really liked them too. Wanted to keep eating them.
Either, unfortunately. So I just say trick him into it, and now it's come full circle. I created a monster. So.
And I gotta tell you, I'm bad. Like, literally, while we've been talking, I pulled out 3 mocktail, and you're supposed to divide them up. Okay, you're not supposed to take them at the same time. But guys, I couldn't help myself. Oh, so tasty, and I'm getting hungry. Talking about pizza, it's 6:13 here, so I was getting hungry.
So
hope there's no judgment.
Powder, my favorite is chocolate, and it tastes really similar to a Wendy's Frosty to me, especially if you put like a little bit of almond milk in there and blend it up. It gives it like this like fluffy consistency. Well,
and I have to say, Brittany, I'm gonna actually, I gotta show them this since we're talking. I know we're kind of going over, but I gotta show them something. So when we went to the WLSFA conference, I did for the love of chocolate. I did a whole talk on chocolate. So she's. You said your favorite is chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate.
Okay.
I mean, out of the two, chocolate's my favorite.
Yeah. So I actually love both, but I'm going to show you something that we actually shared during that presentation was chocolate no bake sun butter protein balls. So instead of using peanut butter, we use sun butter, which is made from sunflower seeds. You could alternate and use regular peanut butter, but some people are sensitive, so that's why we did it for that particular. Yeah. And I'm telling you, everybody loved the first little cut we did during the presentation. So I ended up making a second whole bowl of peanut butter balls while we were, talking. And we did it with vanilla the second time. And we ended up skipping, we decided that the cocoa powder wouldn't be needed on the vanilla version. But, there were some people that like those more and some people that like the chocolate more. I'm going to share this link. I'll share it for the protein ball recipe. Really good. It's hard to stop on eating all these. Chocolate protein balls. I'm not going to put the full name, but I'll put the link here. It's also on our support group page that Brittany shared earlier. So, anyways, guys, I don't think I have anything else. Brittany, you have anything?
I do not.
Thank you for staying with us. For those of you who
Yeah,
stayed the
thank
whole
you.
time, we appreciate you guys. And this event is on replay if you missed part of it and you want to go back and you want to listen. Also, I just want to mention something we don't say all the time, but for those of you who are a replay listener and you want to come back and listen to other replays on our channel, one of my favorite things is something called the Crowdcast app. That's what it looks like, that little button right there that you can download on your phone, your smartphone, and you can listen to events on that. You have to register for them first, so you may have to get on a laptop and go in and pick the ones that you want and register for them, and then they'll show up on the app. But it's a great way. I love listening to either podcast or events like this whenever I'm out walking. And right now doing the Step Bet Challenge by Bari Nation, which is getting my steps. So I still have some steps to get in today. Anybody else doing that? Right now I am. It's going. A little over 5,000. I need 7,000 steps. So I got to go take a walk this afternoon.
You're welcome, Michelle. You're welcome, Christine.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right.
So
Bye,
thank you so
everybody.
much. Bye, everybody. We love ya.
We'll see you at our next live. If not, hopefully we'll see you at the next support group. And
Yeah.
everyone have a good night.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Brenda, I'll see you. I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon.
Sounds good. It's a plan.
Bye,